Okay, what's going on, guys? Today we're playing some Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. We're going to be playing Invoked Dogmatika Eldlich. So, starting with the list, we got 2 Maxx. You can play 3, I just don't want to craft a third. We have 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Aleister to find our invocations, 3 Ecclesia to find our punishments and our Fleurdelis. And it's just a free special if we control an extra deck monster. Same with Fleurdelis, it is interruption on our opponent's turn, and it is a free special and can negate a monster effect. We have 2 Eldlich, you can play 3, but I believe 3 is getting into the bricky territory, especially when we're playing other engines like Invoked and Dogmatika. Then we have our 1 Invocation, 1 Nadir Servant to find our Dogmatika cards, 2 Pot for card draw, 2 Magical Meltdowns to find our Aleister and prevent them from getting negated, 2 Cursed Eldland with a beautiful royal one to find our Eldlich cards and to find our Golden Lord, 1 Torrential, 3 Eldlixirs to find our Eldlich, 2 Punishment for double pops and a search, or 1 pop and a search, 3 Judgment, 3 Strike for negation, and then we have 3 Huaquero, 3 Conquistador, thanks Konami for limiting it to 1. And then we have 2 Elder Intis, 2 Caliga, 1 Raidjin, 1 Cocytus, 1 Purgatrio, 1 this guy, big boy. Just a vanilla, but if we're playing against Emancipator, it can be decent, along with all of these others. We can actually make Purgatrio off of Ash if we send it to the grave. And then we have Augoeides, which is it's a pop on special and it can boost itself. Titaniklad is a search if we send it to the grave. Mechaba can negate a spell, trap, or monster effect once per turn if we send the same card type to the graveyard, and it does banish the negated card. We have 1 Eldlich the Mad Golden Lord, which we can make off Invocation. Then we have 1 Superdreadnought Rail Cannon as a finisher if we ever need to do 2k to the dome to finish a game. Alright, let's get into the games. Okay, getting into the game, open a decent hand with Aleister and Magical Meltdown. So we're going to start with Magical Meltdown to bait out any ashes or anything. So we get a Maxx, which we're only going to special summon once this turn, which is fine. And Magical Meltdown will add our Aleister. We will normal the Aleister, add our Invocation. We will then activate Invocation, banish our Aleister on field and our Fleurdelis to create a Mechaba. And then here, we should have not activated the Eldland, should have kept it in the hand, because as you'll see in a second, it would have been very important to keep in hand. And then we'll activate the graveyard effect, the Invocation, shuffle back and add another Aleister. Opponent goes, they're playing Sky Striker, they activate their Mecha, they summon Ray, link off into a Hayate, which when they deal damage they get to search for a card or send a card to the graveyard. We'll chain that. Okay, so we start with a decent hand here. We're going to start with a Magical Meltdown to add a Aleister to hand. They'll chain Maxx, which doesn't really affect us too much. We're only going to special summon a Mechaba this turn and then just pass. So we normal Aleister, add Invocation. We will activate this Invocation, and we will banish our Aleister, send our Fleurdelis to the graveyard to make a Mechaba. We will then set our punishment, activate our Eldland, search for a Eldlich, the Golden Lord. We probably should have kept this Eldland in hand just for spell negation. It seems kind of bad to use it here with only monster negations, especially with what we're going against, but we didn't know at the time. So let's start with a Sky Striker Mecha, and then the normal Ray, and then link Ray off into Hayate. We'll flip a punishment to pop the Hayate, We shouldn't have sent the Entis. They'll chain Ray. We'll negate the Ray, sending an Aleister to grave. But they do have the Widow Anchor to negate. We would, if this would have went off, it would have been pretty much over for the Sky Striker player, because that would have banished the Ray. But then they get the Ray back, go into Shizuku, which gets them a search on their end phase. And then they'll set 2 and pass. Activate that on the end step to reset the Widow Anchor. Then they'll search a Sky Striker Mobilize Engage off the Shizuku. Switches to our turn. We will draw, and we draw a Conquistador, which is not bad. We'll activate Cursed Eldland to add a Huaquero, which is the best card in the matchup. Activate the Eldlich to send the Conquistador to send the Widow Anchor to the grave, which will banish it. Then we'll normal Aleister, which we should have kept in hand because we can't actually activate the Invocation. And they will also chain another Maxx to it. We'll get our Invocation, activate our Eldlich. We should have sent the Cursed Eldland to the grave instead of the Meltdown. We will special our Eldlich, give them a card, go to battle, hit over with Eldlich, be disappointed because we cannot attack because we did not set our Eldland. They'll get their Ray back. We'll set a Huaquero, activate a Conk in end step to set a Eldlixir. They will chain their Ray to special summon a Shizuku that will allow them to search on the end phase, which they will add another Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. On their turn, they draw. They'll flip them. I don't know what that's called. They'll flip some Sky Striker card, and then they'll do that one. Then they'll add the Engage, activate the Engage. We'll negate the Engage, which will banish it, which keeps them below 3 in the graveyard. They'll activate another Engage, which we're fine with, which will add a pop and a back row pop. Since they do have 3, they'll activate the pop our Mechaba and our Eldlixir. Then they will link the Shizuku into a Kagari, which we will then, they will activate to add a Mobilize to hand. We will then banish that Mobilize because we do not want them to search blow. Then they will activate a pot to shuffle back everything but the Ray, and then draw 2. Which now they have Ray and 3 spells in grave, make it 4. They activate Rhoda to find another Ray. Then they go to battle, hit over our Aleister. We will activate our Eldlixir to set another Huaquero, best card in the matchup. Then they will link the Kagari into another Shizuku so they can get a search on the end phase. And then they will activate that to set this again, and set another. Then Shizuku search, adding Widow Anchor, which is scary. Goes to our turn for turn. We draw Maxx, not the best. We'll activate the Invocation to shuffle itself back and add the Aleister to hand. We will then normal the Aleister after we activate Cursed Eldland and find our third Huaquero. Add the Invocation. We will then activate the Invocation to banish our Aleister and the Ray. And they'll chain a Maxx. Their second one now. And then we will go into a Caliga, which is fairly decent against Sky Striker, but we should have put in defense. And they'll chain that to make it undestroyable by battle, but we'll chain Huaquero to banish their third spell, making them down to 2 when this resolves, so they will not be able to survive this battle. Which puts us in a very commanding lead. We'll set our Huaquero and then we'll pass the turn. They'll activate an airspace and then do that to banish our Mechaba, but we really don't care about that. Then no airspace effect. They'll activate that to send their back row, and then they'll activate that to steal our Eldlich, summon a Ray, link the Ray into a Hayate. Then we'll chain. We should have done the Maxx when they stole our Eldlich, but they have Ash, so it doesn't even matter. Then they will go to battle. They'll hit over Caliga. They will hit over Huaquero. Hayate effect to send a spell. Then second main, blink into a Zeke. Then they will activate the Zeke effect to banish our other Huaquero until our next turn. Until their next turn, I believe. Then they will link it to Shizuku to get another search. We will activate a Huaquero effect to set another Eldlixir. They'll activate that to reset a Widow Anchor, which is fine. From this point, it should be pretty easy to get to lethal. So, for turn, we draw Judgment, which is fine. We just need any spell or trap. Activate the Eldland, out Eldlich. Activate the Eldlich effect in hand. Send the Judgment to send their Widow Anchor. They'll chain Maxx, which does not matter unless they have a Battle Fader or something of that caliber. Then we'll activate Eldlich in the graveyard to send our Eldland, which will not activate its effect. Then we'll special summon our Eldlich. Then activate our Invocation to add Aleister to our hand and shuffle back the Invocation. Then we'll normal Aleister, get our Invocation, activate it. And then we will banish our Aleister and our Caliga, and we will make a Augoeides, which on summon will pop a card. And we will pop their Hayate. They will chain the Ray, but we have our third Huaquero. We will chain Huaquero, and then we'll banish the Ray, basically putting them out of this game. And we have lethal on board. We'll attack with Eldlich, attack with Caliga for lethal. Or not Caliga, Augoeides. And that's game, good game. And just as a little treat for defeating Sky Striker, we're going to open 10 packs of Enchanted Threads of Shade, because I would like to build some sort of Shadal deck eventually. This doesn't look like a bad pack opening. Definitely a lot of hollows. Let's see what we get. And our hollow is a Zephyr card. Zephyr's always starting to see some play, that's for sure. So, not a bad card to get. And Reshadal Windy, not a bad one. Definitely need that for the Shadal deck. See what we get. Nothing much in this pack. Ooh, we got a UR. Let's see what it is. Ooh, window, very nice. Needed that. First window. Glossy Falco is not bad either. Ooh, another hollow. Okay. Not the best one, but it's a Shadal monster. Can always be dust. Need be. Ooh, another UR. We are getting lucky this time. Too bad it's on the wrong side. Oh my god! I was talking about how I just didn't want to craft the third Maxx. Well, there's my third Maxx, I guess. I'll take it. I mean, don't have to craft it. That's lucky. That's super lucky. Oh my god. Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. Nothing, not great. Don't even want to read it. Come on, in the right side, maybe? Nope. Okay. Scrapyard. Not a bad card for scraps. I think our last pack is going to be a UR pack. On the wrong side again. Yep. Dark Spell Regeneration. More dust. And here's our UR pack. And it's in the right side. Ooh, 2? Meh. I guess that's good in Zephyr. Not a Shadal card, but I mean overall, above average. Definitely above average. So thank you guys for watching the video.